Hello! So I'm doing some work for the upcoming SIGGRAPH event, the Birds of a Feather Women in CG, and I've been updating some of Fate Saga's shots in order to get it as ready as possible, and I figured this was maybe a good opportunity for a little demo. So for this, I have Kane's eyes done because I wanted to see if I could try to put the effect on his eyes, because when the pupils get small in this shot, he just kind of looks a little crazy. But in order to do that, to try and do any effects to it, I really need his eyes, his pupils, to be able to fit inside of his eyes, like the eye shape. So, oh, I just realized I'm missing an eye there. So I guess I'll show real quick how I've been drawing the eyes. So I've actually been doing it using the line tool. For this particular case, I don't always do that, but there's very little movement in his eyes, but there is enough, and I want it to be very smooth. So that's one way to do it. There we go. Okay, so I need to fill in the colors, and then I need to use those filled in colors as a mask for the pupils in order to keep those pupils locked in. Then I can start doing effects to the pupils and make sure that they also are locked inside of the eyes. So first thing I need to do before I can ink anything, or before I can put in any colors, is I need to connect the lines. So if I were to try to fill in anything right now, I wouldn't be able to do it because I need those lines to connect. So I'm going to use what's called the stroke tool. And in order to get these to show up at all, I have to hit the K key. I just already had the K key selected, but that allows us to see the paths inside of the stroke. Because just because the lines look like they're connecting doesn't mean they actually are. So something I look for is those little blue dots. So like this could look like they're connecting, but they're actually not. And that little red dot or yellowish dot is a way of telling me, hey, they're not connected. So what I'm looking for is blue. I also have to try and curve it so it looks like it's a continuation of the eye. There we go. Okay, so now I need to separate the whites from the line arts layer to the color arts layer so they can be isolated. So select, Command X, go to the color arts layer, Command V. Nudge forward, go back to line arts, select, Command X, jump into the color arts layer. Oh, actually I need to undo. I just realized I had made a terrible mistake. Oh, and I went too far. Okay, am I missing anything? Okay, so the mistake that I made where I went too far was that I had this selected. Well, I went too far by hitting undo too many times. But the mistake I made was doing the selection and then moving it while having this selected. So it was affecting multiple layers or multiple frames at the same time, and that was not the intent. And I realized that, thankfully pretty early on in the process. That would have been unsavory if I had discovered it later. I probably would have had to recolor his eyes. Okay, so now that the eyes are separated, I can, or the eye whites and the lines of the eyelashes are now on the same, they're on the same layer, but they're on separate sublayers. I can separate them. And that should be, oh, there it is, eye ink. Okay, so what I need is the line art, and I was able to call the nodes that I wanted to use by hitting the enter key, and I want the color art and the line art. Okay, and now it's gonna look like oops. There we go. Now it's gonna look like I didn't really do anything. But what I need is the pupil. Where's well, there's this pupil, but that's not the one I want. It's the pupil ink layer. Probably sitting on this. Yeah, there it is. Pupil ink layer. I need a cutter for that. There we go. And I want to cut into the color arts. Boom. But now they are hiding behind it rather than showing only inside. So I just got to double click on this little black box. Now they only show when they're in there. So see, whenever it's overlapping away from the eye, it is no longer, it no longer bleeds out, bleeds over. There we go. So now, hit the K key. Let me see what it looks like. There we go. Pupils are now inside. Yay! So that is how you can mask, or in this case you cut or use the cutter to get the pupils or get any kind of body part or element to hide inside of the colors of another. So the pupil is inside of the whites of the eyes, even though the whites of the eyes and the eyelashes are on the same layer. It's the color art. The whites of the eyes were placed into the color arts sublayer and separated and used as the mask for that. And there we go. That is how you can, a practical application of cutting the pupil into the eye. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.